Hello, my name is Linda Dolke. I'm a demonstrator here in Australia with Stampin Up, and today we have an interesting theme for our global stamping video hop. I'm excited to do, this is the second one of these I've done, so I'm excited to bring you another little session with this. Today's theme is unusual colours that actually kind of work together, okay? So this is really interesting. I'm actually going to share with you a colour palette that is not completely new to me, but it is a bit unorthodox, a little bit not traditional, and I'm hoping you're going to stick with me because I actually love how these colours work together. And here are the colours that I've chosen for today: Calypso Coral and Blackberry Bliss. Now stay with me, don't be horrified. I promise you, you can do lots of things with these and make them work really well. But before we start, let's just talk a little bit of colour theory, okay? You can try any colour combo that you think might go together. And sometimes you put colours together and you think, well, these don't really belong together. I'd like to change your mind. I think that they do, but there are some tricks that you can employ to make them work together better, okay? Now, one way is to introduce a third colour. And when we are introducing a third colour, I usually turn to the neutrals, okay? So, for example, crumb cake, if I put this in between the two colours, you can see this one and this one go really nicely together, and this one and this one go really nicely together, and all together they look like they're a cohesive grouping of colours, okay? Because the crumb cake is a neutral that actually brings it all together. So using a neutral to bring your colours together can really help you when you're trying to combine colours. Another option, this is Sahara Sand, another of our neutrals. You can see the Blackberry Bliss and the Sahara look fantastic together, and the Calypso Coral and the Sahara also look really nice. So once again, this is a really nice grouping, although personally I think I prefer the crumb cake to the Sahara Sand, but it still works. Another option, something else you can do to bring your colours together, is to add a piece of vellum. So vellum tends to soften other colours, and you can see over the top of the Blackberry and over the top of the Calypso, it kind of softens them and brings them all together. So that's another option for you. If you use a vellum element or two on your project, it can really help to soften the overall effect. Now these colours are in different parts of the colour wheel, and that's one reason why they're not an obvious choice. Normally, the best pairings on the colour wheel are colours that are opposite each other, like maybe yellow and green or purple. This is on its way to purple. This is a little bit, obviously, a lot more orange than yellow, but they're not part of the same part of the colour wheel. If you have colours right next to each other, that's what we call complementary colours, and those can go really well as well. But we are using colours that traditionally probably wouldn't be thought of as being particularly complementary, okay? You can introduce, if you're feeling brave, other colours. So I've gone and pulled out my Pale Papaya, which is one of our current in colours, and you can see this is a really interesting pairing, okay? So we've got Pale Papaya, which has got a little bit of the Calypso orangey tones to it, and then it's quite contrasting to the Blackberry, but those also work okay. Interesting pairing, but once again, they work. So let's have a little play with these. I've actually got a piece that I've organised a little earlier. This is half a sheet of A4 paper, or if you're in the US and you're using, or Canada and you're using letter cardstock, you're just going to cut it in half horizontally, and you end up with a card-based size piece of paper. And today I'm going to actually use the Happiness Abounds stamp set, which is one from our current annual catalogue, and I've already gone ahead and put one of the large flower stamps from this set onto my block, and then I'm going to ink it up with the Blackberry Bliss ink pad. So here I go. This is a very simple card, and I'm going to put it right down here in the corner of my cardstock so it goes off the edge a little bit, and then I'm going to have another one going just above that, and another one out here to the side. So it now looks like we're going over the corner, and let's do the other corner as well. So a bit over the corner, and then just a little bit for this one, not as much as the other corner. So a little bit more on this corner, a little bit less on this one. Okay, so we've got Blackberry Bliss images on our Calypso Coral cardstock. Now I've got my, actually I'm going to need my Blackberry Bliss again. I'm not going to be using, you could if you wanted to use the Calypso Coral. If you did want to use Calypso Coral, let me show you what that's going to look like just out of interest. We'll do it on the reverse. So you could go either way. I'm wondering actually if the Calypso Coral might be better in this case. So I'm going Calypso Coral. We can do both and see which one looks the best. And we're going to add this colour with a blending brush to the center of these flowers. Actually, I do think I prefer this. Now we're doing it. I think the Calypso Coral looks really lovely. So the Calypso Coral is tone on tone, but we've got it offset with the darker color. Okay. If you wanted to, you could also try using a blending brush with your Blackberry. And let's see what that looks like. So we have a couple of choices. You can go with the Blackberry sponging, which also looks good. See how this is looking? Which one do you think you like best? If you're going to do with the Blackberry is a very strong color, so I probably wouldn't do a lot of sponging. You can sponge a bit more with the Calypso because being tone on tone, you can add a bit more of that. All right, so you can see how this is looking. See how nice the Blackberry sings against the Calypso Coral cardstock? I think it's really pretty actually. And as you can see, it's very, very quick and easy. And now you see also what the Calypso Coral looks like. So now that I've done it, I do like the Blackberry the best. And I'm going to use the Blackberry as well to stamp a sentiment. This is a very quick, easy card today. I've chosen a stamp set also from the same set, the sentiment from the same set. Once again, it's the Happiness Abounds set. And this is called, this one says, sending many thanks for all you do. And I'm going to pop it here on this little label. This die is from the Stylish Shapes dies, and it's the largest of the banner dies in that set. Such a good set. If you're looking for a fantastic set to get started with dies, or if you don't have the Stylish Shapes, I do highly recommend it. I just have to bring my head in for a second. My apologies, guys. And I'm just going to stamp that right there. I'm using white, but I could have also used one of the other colors I showed you. I could have done this on crumb cake, for example. See how nice this is? Very, very simple. All right, so I'm going to, on the back here, I'm going to add dimensionals. Just one here on this end and another on the other end. And if I wanted to, I could maybe have a leaf or two popping out from behind here. I just better put it on straight. There we go. I do tend to use my grid paper. It does help me line things up a little straighter, and that looks pretty good. It's looking nice. And I have some linen thread here too, so I'm going to add some linen thread. And of course, we'll need to add some embellishments. And we have a few choices with embellishments, but my favorite embellishments currently are the Iridescent Rhinestones because they go with everything. They're fantastic and they look really, really good. All right, so let me pop this on with the glue dot. Pop that right behind the glue dot. Give it a press. When I take that bow off, it brings the glue dot with it. And I'm going to just pop this right here at this side. And I'm going to trim that off with my scissors. I know this is a very, very simple card. Let's add those bits of bling. So I'm going to have a larger one here. Actually, no. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to have this one over here, a medium-sized one just here on the corner, and a little guy up here towards the top. There we go. That's looking rather nice. Now, if you wanted to do something else, if you felt that that was too simple, I mean, I do love a simple card, and sometimes it's just what you need, a quick and easy card, especially if you don't have a lot of time. But something you can do is add some Wink of Stella over the center of the flowers, just to give it a little bit more glittery shine, which looks really, really nice actually. So let's do that. Just going to add it over all the flower centers here. And that's all, just that one up there. And I'm going to call that a finished card. I like it. Do you like it? See how nicely these colors do actually look together. Let me show you a couple of other samples of the same color palette, totally different cards. Here's one I did with the Ray of Light stamp, and this one is I'll have all these up on my social media pages and my blog at some point as well, but definitely on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so there's the Ray of Light, and you can see I stamped it in Calypso Coral and then added my Blackberry around the edges, and it turned out really pretty. Very simple once again. And this one is watercolored. I've done a watercolor background, and I've done part of the watercolor background with the Blackberry from this end, and I've done Calypso Coral from this end, and then blended them together. And I'm doing a class with these this month, next month, for anyone who wants to come and do a watercolor class with me. I'm going to be doing that online, and you'll be able to see that these are really pretty. I hope that you've enjoyed those. See, all totally different cards, but using the same color palette, which I actually think is a lot of fun. I hope you like these. I would love it if you wanted to click over to the next video in the hop. If you look down in the description below, click on the More button and then open up the description, and you'll see the link to the next video below this one. Have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing, and I hope you've enjoyed my cards. Bye!